Welcome to your Thursday night viewing of Slightly Unqualified. You have your host tonight, Andrew. I'm surprised they let me come back. My
Yeah, me too.
absence. I'm joined by two wonderful human beings. We have Guppy Matt at the top right, and we got Steven, aka Khan. How are
What's
you
up,
doing
guys?
tonight, gentlemen? What's new? What's good? It's been 2 weeks.
It's been pretty good. Crazy week so far, but it is chugging along. Definitely chugging along. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Really, just been working, and working.
Yeah, it's been a very, very busy week for me too. I haven't had any time to do anything. Surprise, surprise, got sick again. I don't know what's going on, but just finally getting over a cold. And so if you see me go mute for a little bit, I'm probably just hacking up my lung. What about you, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, work is work. It's a pretty boring week in terms of like stuff. uh, watch Guardian 3,
One
bought my
of
Ted
three.
Lasso. Pretty much it.
Did I
It's
tell
kind of
you?
boring.
Yeah, did I tell you guys about the? It's like a TV show. It's like slightly reality TV, but also kind of like a prank. Called Jury Duty. Did I bring this up to you guys already? You're muted. It just started. You're already
Two episodes
muted.
ago. Two
Two
episodes
episodes.
ago.
All right. Well, I finally
Two.
finished that. That
Two,
was.
because you weren't here for the last one.
I know. I wasn't here for the last one. I don't think I'll ever get forgiven for that. But I did finally finish that. That was actually really good. If you haven't checked it out, it's a very good comedy. But let's jump right into it. I think we're going to start tonight with a little bit of spoiler-free Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 review. Obviously, only one of us have seen it.
It's not very
there's-
obvious, but
Yeah, there has been some slightly controversial takes on it. Some people saying that they don't like it. There's some things that don't add up. And on the other side, Matt says everything is justified. So we're going to turn the tables over to you, Mr. Mateus, to give us the lowdown. What are your thoughts on it?
all right. So spoiler-free version because you gentlemen haven't seen it yet. One of
Mhm.
you have seen spoilers, as he typically does. It's his normal thing. And then the other person, Andrew, you do not because I don't
Under
know,
a
you just
rock.
don't. Yeah, I'm kind of in between where like sometimes if I wait too long, I'll look at spoilers. Like Shazam, I've already seen spoilers for. But if it's like a week or so, I usually don't. But I know Steven for sure is like super just like dialed into that stuff weekly. And he kind of, even when he tries to avoid it, he just can't just because all this content's filled with that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
I know he knows the spoiler stuff. So spoiler free for you, Andrew, and for everybody else watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in the simplest terms possible that I could like possibly say, um, this should really tell you all you need to know about how I regard it and
Mhm.
what I think of it. Um, it gives you hope for the MCU going forward because there's a movie now that has the MCU standard met once again. In a very long time, it hasn't been. But even beyond that, I think this movie is easily, and I say this proudly, easily a top 3 MCU film, if not a top 5. And the top 5 isn't even debatable. The top 3 is debatable. The top 5 is not debatable whatsoever. I haven't had this much satisfaction coming out of an MCU film of how good it was, just like as a film, since Winter Soldier. And you guys both know
Wow.
how high I put that
That's,
up there. It's my
yeah,
number
that's
one.
pretty big.
It's a perfect ending to the James Gunn chapter. James Gunn had, when you watch it, he did a lot. He did a lot in terms of like, it just felt like James Gunn was like, he just felt free to do whatever he wanted with this movie.
Right.
The conclusion he has with these characters is it's a great farewell and send off for all of them. Um, it's the progression of character, like the character building they do within the movie itself is already kind of insane, but it's so insanely good, especially Rocket's story and Nebula's growth. They could go back to the first Guardians film and one Rocket, you can see every single reason why he says things and what he says, going like pinning back to the first movie. And then Nebula, you can see just the complete change of her character and how much she's grown from the first film all the way to this third one.
Yeah.
And every single character, even Mantis, has their moment to shine. It's that's the big thing for me is there were so many characters that they had to build around and had to close a chapter out on that every single one of them you feel like
Got it.
maybe not closure because some of them don't have a closure in a sense. A couple of them do, but there is a sense of like a massive amount of shine for each character in their own unique way that's in character with their character
Mm-hmm.
development arc. Um, that's the first thing. So very
Well,
good.
can I pause you right there?
Yeah, good.
Because so that was actually one of the things that I didn't like about Guardians 2 was it felt like Star Lord and gang, and it was like it was all his story, and there really you got like a little bit of the sister fights versus like the first Guardians. I feel like everyone got to shine in their own way, so that makes me hopeful because I was pretty turned off by Guardians 2.
Yeah, there is definitive plot points around each character in the film where you can literally see them grow in real time. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's insanity in a sense, but
Yeah, I would have to say the same things. Guardians 2 did nothing for me. It's one of those movies I can easily skip over and never really watch. Like it's a lot like Iron Man 3. I can do without it. It doesn't really do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians 1 changed the game. I hope they end this on a really good like closing of the book for the characters. Haven't watched it yet. Probably going to watch it not this weekend, but hopefully next weekend. Take the kids to go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying that it is a heart-wrenching movie. So
it hurts.
Yeah, they're saying if your kids are animal lovers, maybe
Do not go.
it's not the one.
Mm.
But my kids already know the movie's out and they're like begging to watch it. So I got to go take them to watch it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we'll
So
see.
it's heart-wrenching. Like the first 15 minutes, it's like, okay, here we go. Like emotional roller coaster immediately. And then I told Steven coming out of it, there's about 3 or 4 different times where I just teared up, like just like, oh my gosh. And they're spread out times, and you're invested every single time. It's from a character standpoint, it's this might be, in terms of like a character development standpoint, the best MCU film for that kind of thing. The actual plot itself of what they're doing, why they do it, and how they do it is perfect. The pacing is pretty good. The High Evolutionary, man,
Is that the villain?
Yeah, the villain is the High Evolutionary, which that's not a surprise. That's not a spoiler or anything like that.
No.
So the High Evolutionary is the villain, and I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly because he's very hyped up right now. Everyone that came out, as far as I've seen, has loved his character specifically. And what I loved about him specifically was every MCU film, I would say, since probably Killmonger, actually every single one, I would say, there's a justified reason as to why they do things. You kind of feel like, okay, you have a point. This guy, there's no point. You're just like, you're just evil. We just hate you. Like,
damn,
so
that sucks.
You have in your heart, you're like, I just want this guy to die like the whole time. And it's refreshing in the MCU because that hasn't happened, I don't think, in any single villain. Maybe besides like the Red Skull, like where guys just so evil. There's no justification behind why he's doing it. He's just evil.
Yeah.
So like when you see him, you want to hate him, which is great villainry, right? But then there's also no sense of redemption for him in any aspect whatsoever. He's just evil from start to finish.
Nice.
And the performance by the actor, I forget his name, but he was also in Suicide Squad, I think, as well, with James Gunn. He did so well. I'm not calling for it because I don't think he did that well, but people are like, he should, if they're gonna get rid of Kang, bring this dude in and make the High Evolutionary a version of Kang because he's good enough to carry the rest of this going forward.
That'd be dope. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's a step. Cool. I think he's a step below Majors because Majors just blew me out of the water when I first saw him, or every single time I saw him. But I wouldn't mind if they did it. I would just be skeptical of it. But he is a damn good villain. Like, you hate the guy. You don't have any compassion for him at any point in time whatsoever for anything. Even at the very end when they whoop his ass, you're like, yeah, well deserved. Kill him. So great on that aspect. The dynamic between the Gamora in this movie and Peter Quill As it flows and as it happens, it's very like natural and very like I don't know what the word is. It's very the chemistry is still there, even though it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
And you kind of hate Gamora. Like Gamora, I feel like everyone loved her in the first two films, and even in like
Yeah.
Infinity War, you really love Gamora and her character. And this one, you're like, dude, you're the worst. Like it's almost like her and Nebula switch spots completely.
Dang, that's crazy. Because Nebula,
Uh,
man, I hated Nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nebula, you love her at the end of this movie. By the way,
But
every
that's
single one of them, actually, you love them. I'm not gonna even Gamora. She has a redeeming quality to her at the end, where it's like, you know what, the Gamora we love is still in there.
Yeah, because it's kind of an interesting concept to think about. So we have a new Gamora. Well, technically, this is like a different Gamora than the OG Guardians one because she's snatched out of her timeline. Interesting. So like the events that happened to shape her didn't necessarily happen, so therefore she's different. That's kind of cool. Like
Very different. Like
Yeah.
Zoe Saldana plays a completely different character in a sense, just named Gamora. But
Mhm.
at the end, you kind of see her. At the end, the last like 10 minutes, you kind of see her old Gamora come back just for a split second, pretty much.
Yeah.
But once you guys watch it, we can get into the weeds of like the specifics. But everything that they do in this movie is every character has a specific thing you could point back to in a previous film that they did or didn't do, as it's a reason why they did it. So like Drax's parenthood stuff, like you get really redeeming stuff out of that in this movie, and you can point back to like just his calling of being a parent and how much he loved doing that before versus what he
Yeah.
is now. There, everything Rocket does, like I'm telling you, you're gonna watch this movie, see Rocket's backstory. That's what it's about,
Mhm.
and you're gonna go back to the first one, and be like, you know what?
That makes
Everything
sense.
now goes from being like a sassy Rocket comeback to being a painful memory that you know he has in his mind now. It's insane. James Gunn just I feel like he had a lot of freedom with the pen, and he freaking wrote his ass off for the sense. Now the drawback to this film, and this is what I really want to talk about eventually when we get to it, because you guys will, I think you guys will agree with me that it's probably a top 5, if not top 3 of all time MCU film. If you
Good to
don't, then we
hear.
talk about that as well. But with that being said, it feels like I came out of that movie saying the MCU is back. The problem is this film was written and directed by a guy that's leaving after
Yep.
this film.
Yep.
So I am skeptical that Marvel has, from what I've seen now in this third film, lost their best creator by a mile. The only person close to him creator wise is Coogler. And Coogler and Gunn after this film is a giant gap. I'm talking about you're gonna put him in a class that no one else is in. Like you're gonna have Dave Filoni is in his class of his own for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be James Gunn for comic book films, which excites me for the DCEU. But it's you. I walked out of there feeling like, dang, Disney and Marvel really dropped the ball by firing this dude over his tweets. Like,
Yep.
this movie is a perfect ending, perfect closure. I don't want to say what happens in the film, but there is something at the end that happens that, like the very end credit pretty much is there's a song and people are dancing, and each character has their moment to shine during the dance, and you can just see the character growth. And even from like I'll just say it because I don't know how big of a spoiler it really is, but the dance scene at the end, Drax starts dancing, and the growth from in Guardians 1, Drax saying music is for idiots, to
Yeah.
Guardians 2, Drax still saying,
Hating
why
it.
are we playing music? This is so stupid. To this third one, him dancing at the end and enjoying the music in the town. It just ties it up all nicely. There's a line that
teary-eyed.
yeah, there's something that Groot does at the end as well where you question it, but James Gunn has addressed it already, and we'll talk about that whenever you guys watch it. And it makes you feel even more in tune with the Guardians. It's I don't know how to say it, man. It's just I haven't had this much love for an MCU film besides No Way Home since Winter Soldier. I can't put it into words. I think it beats every movie except for Winter Soldier, And in my personal rankings, I have it 1A, 1B for those two movies. It's that good.
So we're talking even better than Infinity War and Endgame.
Better than Endgame for sure. Infinity War, I can see people making an argument for. Better than Endgame by far.
Mm-hmm.
Endgame was good too. Endgame was really good.
Very good.
Endgame was good. Infinity War was better in my opinion, but
yeah, me too. I feel the same.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
That's my spoiler-free review. I mean, I can get into the weeds of it, like maybe like, my idea was to get into the weeds of it, maybe like on my own, so you guys don't have to endure that. I can post that on like Instagram Reels or whatever.
Sure.
And kind of go into depth there. But I'm honestly very excited for both you guys to watch it because I think it's a breath of fresh air that the MCU is needed, and it takes it to a different level. That it's a different standard now for MCU films because this is the pinnacle, in my opinion. It's not your kid's MCU film. The jokes are balanced out well with like the seriousness, and you can see the jokes slowly fade away as the characters themselves learn Rocket's backstory. And that's what's crazy to me. Like you can see the complete difference in their tone once they don't know what happened to Rocket, and then once they find out what happened to him and how they act after that it's just good character progression. So.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things to think about and to note is James Gunn is obviously very tied to these characters.
Oh
so
yeah,
I feel like
extremely.
He's putting his heart and soul into writing this, especially from a director who was canceled, fired, and then got his job back. Like, good for him to, like Matt said, to leave on a note where potentially there's not a film that's going to be able to top it. So
yeah,
that's pretty exciting and cool. I know I'm stoked for it. I feel like this movie just kind of snuck out. Like I didn't realize it was coming out, and maybe it just
so fast, man.
Under a rock. I feel like it had like a solid 2 more months before it was going to come out, but then it was like, oh yeah, that did come out. Whoops.
What's weird is I don't know if you feel the same way, but this movie got it got mixed in with so much other stuff coming out, but there wasn't stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like there really isn't a lot of content out there right now that I have to watch, that I have to play besides Hogwarts, Star Wars, and really that's it. There's nothing that's like, oh, you have to watch this. But yet I feel like I haven't made time because I'm trying to catch up on some of the things that I have on my list.
Yeah.
I just feel like this movie was like, you know what? I'm not even going to be mad if I wait for Disney Plus to watch it. Like,
yeah, it's weird. I just feel like the marketing isn't as strong for this movie as it was for like other things, but I don't know. That could also be me because I've been like trying to wing off trailers. Like if just that part of the algorithm for YouTube has just kind of like faded out of my life. But I feel like I didn't see much marketing or like, get your tickets now. Like there's stuff like I see right now, like Across the Spider-Verse, that's getting like reserve your tickets now. Like I'm seeing posts on Instagram, but I feel like I didn't really see stuff for Guardians, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like it just was boom. It was there. Movie came out. I feel like the weekend it made it feel like it was just a regular B-list movie. The hard part for me is that a lot of the YouTube guys that I follow that do reviews of these Star Wars video game adaptations of TV shows or movies, a lot of those guys get very stuck up in the weeds. So sometimes it's like, is this guy doing a good review, or is he butthurt that the movie's not like the comic books? You know what I mean? And then I get it, and then I'm like, oh, this is why this movie sucks, because they didn't do this. But then I got to sit there and think, okay, this movie isn't made for the person who's reading the comic books. This movie's made for the person who's bringing their kids to the movies, who just want to go watch a good movie. You know what I mean? And maybe they saw Guardians 1 and 2, and they've been following the Marvel world. You know what I mean? It's weird. So those reviews get a little wishy-washy because everybody's a diehard of something. You know what I mean? And then if the movie's not made to the exact same, the exact specifications that you want, it it puts a bad taste in your mouth, and then you start bad mouthing the show or the movie or the game. So it gets a little tricky at times to like take people's review with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless
I
they
mean,
like blatantly like change something. Like Quinn has a sister and Becky saves the world. You're just like, what the hell? Like,
yeah,
where's this
where'd that
coming
come
from? You know?
from?
Yeah, that don't make any sense. You know what I mean? On any level. But yeah, so the reviews and staying away from them, it's very hard because you want to watch somebody do a review of Star Wars, and then all of a sudden you don't click the next button and it automatically starts getting into the review of the next, and then you catch yourself already spoiled and just like,
Ian,
you
I'm
know,
telling you, man,
I'm
you got to
already
get
here.
out of it.
Dude, it's very hard because the content you have to like go and unfollow people, you know what I mean? And then you have to unfollow people that might be following them so it doesn't come into your feed, and then you're already upset about a movie that you haven't seen or watched or
Hmm.
you know watched the trailer of, you know. So
Yeah, so Matt, we were just talking. Personally, I feel like the marketing on this one just kind of was
It's
not
pretty poor, huh?
existent. Yeah, like it just, and so it got me curious just looking at some like the opening weekend numbers and
Yeah, it's not very high, I
statistics.
don't think.
It's not horrible. So the first Guardians of the Galaxy was about 94 million, which I think at the time makes sense because that was like the first movie where it was like, uh-oh, Marvel might be going to a weird place. And then obviously it turned out to be very good. Then if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it jumped up and did 146 million.
Yeah.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is back down to 118 million. So not horrible, but it just
Yeah.
for me, like I've seen a whole bunch of Spider-Verse marketing that's like everywhere. I just feel like this opening came and went, and it was like, oh yeah, that movie did come out.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's weird because or not weird, but it's ironic that when the first Guardians came out, you didn't know about it. You're like, yeah,
Right.
this is pretty skeptical. But the
Mhm.
excitement from that got you to go watch Ant-Man right after. This one, the reverse is happening where we're hyped up for Ant-Man beyond belief, a little disappointed from the hype, and now we're not ready to go watch Guardians.
Yeah.
So just ironic how that happened there. But I think this movie is going to be a second, third week movie because people are gonna the central
Sleeper.
source of the majority where the majority of audiences score something, which is Rotten Tomatoes, 95%. So it's high.
Mhm.
That's the first thing. So people are going to see that, run to watch it. I also think, from what I've seen all over TikTok and Twitter, people are talking about like it's the MCU's back, number one, and number two, this is the greatest film since sliced bread. So I think it's going to be a second, third movie. People are going to see those reviews. People will have their negative ones as well. I mean, to Steven's point, some people don't. The way things happen in this film, there is a bit of a disappointment factor to like one thing. Someone in the comments already said disappointment factor to me, but that's only because I wasn't expecting that thing to happen. But I think what does happen is so much more like of a good closure for certain characters than what I thought was going to happen. So I think even if you went in with me saying it's the best MCU film of all time, you'd come out saying, "Oh, it's at least top 5."
Yeah.
Like me putting that bar in it isn't gonna be a judgment to it at all. And so it's one of those films where I know if I say that, people are gonna go, not me here, but if enough people say that, people are gonna run and watch it and they're gonna agree with it. And it's just gonna pick up more steam as it gets older.
Right.
So it's one of those films where the second, third week numbers could be bigger than the first.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool to see it. So as you were talking about that, I kind of had this thought that, and this might be something that you see. Well, we're not going to dive too much into Star Wars, but it definitely can be applicable to Star Wars, to where I feel like there are certain brands and certain content that we overhype in our mind of what a story could be, that we get let down. And so I'm kind of getting those vibes where were people who were thinking that the movie was going to go in this direction. Whereas I know, Matt, like for you, you're the type of person that watches the movie and appreciates it for what it is, not what it could have been. And I know, like, I've been guilty of the, oh, I wish it would have done this. Like for me, Endgame, I thought like especially with
Cop
some
out.
of the trailers,
That's what you thought.
it seemed like it was going to be that Tony Stark was going to have like, especially like at the beginning of the movie, like he was going to have this reason to kind of go nutty and have the Avengers against him. So like after he's saved,
Remember that.
like, and so I was let down from that, but it's kind of one of those things that we have to just kind of put it in the back of our mind and be like, that's not what was written. That's what you thought it was going to be, but it wasn't. But it's just interesting how we all kind of sometimes think here's how it's going to go, and it might have never planned to go that way. So let's switch topics.
For example, Civil
go
War,
ahead.
for the record.
Yeah, Civil War. Totally.
Civil War, I was going to say, that's the prime example of
Prime
exactly
example.
what you said.
You know, I'm still
said.
so confused on. So what are you guys' thoughts on Civil War? Like, you put that in your top third, middle of the pack, bottom third?
I think it was
32 films.
Well, I'm just saying. Oh, do you want to go
top
fourth?
Third? Well, no, it's important because top third would be top 10, right? If
Sure.
there's 32 films.
I don't think there's 32 though. I think we're only like 25.
I want to say there's like 26, 27, 26.
I cannot name 10 MCU films better than Civil War, so I'll put it at least top 10.
Okay.
I would say it was a little rushed. I feel like Civil War, it's a great name that gets the OG like heads of Marvel excited and the new people excited. But I think if they would have named it something else, I still think the movie would have been what it was. You know what I mean? I think they captured the name and got people. You know what I mean?
I think that too. But then my question is, there's two sides of this united forces fighting. What else would you call it besides Civil War?
Yeah,
definitely. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean it makes sense. Personally, I feel like it's a little bit weak.
Me too. I second that.
And the only reason I feel like it's weak is because there's so many plot moving forward things that had to have happened perfectly for it to all work out. Whether you want to credit like Baron Zemo being like just a genius, or just being like, oh, well, this has to happen because the movie's got to happen. That's the only thing that I really walk away from the movie is being like, it almost takes you out of the movie because you're like, how would anyone know that that's going to be the reaction that's going to cause this to happen? But again, that could be that he's just that smart and thinks that far ahead, and I would hate to play chess against him.
If you put it into, I don't know, just if you put it into context of like what we think Civil War was supposed to be, the big thing was like Reed and Sue, right? That was like if you put Wanda and Vision there, it's the same exact story. They just choose different sides.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I have to give it top 10 because we got both T'Challa and Peter in this film, and they showed out, like they did some work in this film.
Yeah.
So I had to put it top 10, and then at the very end, the fight with Cap and Iron Man is top tier.
That was very good fight. Yeah, passing the shield back and forth. Yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah. All right, so let's switch topics. Let's talk a little bit about this Disney / Hulu merger app. So I've only done a little bit of research on this, so you guys might have to help me out. Surprise, surprise. I'm usually underqualified for most things I'm talking about. So from what I've gathered is, because obviously Disney owns Hulu, ABC, the majority of the stuff that's played on there. So it seems like they are condensing it into one platform or one app. Thoughts? We'll start with you, Steven. You think this is a good move, bad move?
I think it's a good move. I think it's a great move for Hulu because I want to have a Disney account. I don't need a Hulu account. You know what I mean? And I think them merging together is a good move for Hulu. And then I also think it's a good move because now I don't have to get out of an application to get into another application. I can get almost everything now on one because Hulu has live TV. Now Disney will have live TV. It's what I really like about YouTube TV because there's a lot of great movies and everything's just there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm stoked. I am also a anime fan. I love anime. They're coming out with some of the best story arcs of all time right now. and Hulu has contracts with some of the best when it comes to anime. So if I could pay one fee and be able to watch Zootopia and then flip and watch My Hero Academia in the same application, I am so in. That I'm in. Take my money. So I think it's great, and they have Hulu has like the cream of the crop when it comes to anime. I think they have stuff that you would have to go to 3 or 4 different applications to get to, and it's all going to be under one umbrella. Yeah, I'm right now getting ready. I'm in my head doing the math. I'm like, what can I cancel to make this keep to budget to even out? You know what I mean? Because I'm going to switch over to Hulu if that's the case. I won't get rid of my YouTube TV, but I could definitely get rid of a couple other streaming services and just have Hulu in YouTube TV and be totally fine.
So, again, you might have to educate me on this, but so I pay for Disney Plus Premium, which gives you Hulu and ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm.
How's this any different?
Instead of it being under one application to another application to another application, I want it to be all in one. You don't mind me asking, how do you watch it? Do you watch it like on a TV, or do you have like the Fire Stick, or do you have like an Xbox? Like, how are you watching it?
So I have smart TVs, and I just flip. Like, my wife is a very adamant Hulu watcher because there's a lot of like reality TV shows that air next day, so she likes it for that aspect. Honestly, I don't dive much into Hulu that often.
Yeah. So before I cut you off, or sorry to cut you off,
no, you're fine.
I feel the exact same way. I watch mine on a smart TV.
Mm-hmm.
Smart TV, you have to go into application, out of application, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wife watches it on our TV in the bedroom. That's not a smart TV, but we got a Fire Stick or the Amazon, one of the Fire Sticks, the 4K, whatever.
Sure.
When she watches it, when she turns on her Amazon Fire Stick, everything populates on the home screen, and it's like I'll find stuff I never knew was on any of our streaming services because of the interface. So there's stuff that I'm like, oh my God, I go into the bedroom, I'm like, you're watching this movie? And she's like, yeah, we've had it. And I'm like, I would have to go through like, what application has this movie for me to watch? You know what I mean? And then we're switching between 4 to 5 applications. And I know it's a first world problem, but it's nice to be like Planet of the Apes. And it's like, boom, I don't have to go to this one. Oh, that one's free with commercials. This one, oh, it's free, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's in 480. It's all going to be under one umbrella. I'm down for that. I'd rather go into 2 different apps than go into like 15.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you get in here, Max. I see you're chomping at the bit, but let me just make one point first.
Not chomping.
He's chomping. I see him. He's what about, so this is something that I struggle with Netflix, because I feel like Netflix has so much that it gets lost. And I feel like if you're taking 2 huge platforms, how is some of this stuff not going to get lost? And I mean, to your point, Steven, you already brought up like, again, with my smart TVs, there will definitely be like, there's a platform for my wife. It knows what she likes to watch. So it's going to recommend things based on, her views and what she likes, versus when I'm signed in, it knows, hey, you're probably going to want to watch a Rocket League video. So I see that, but like from a media standpoint and people trying to get maybe even non-blockbuster or high quality productions out to people, don't you feel like this could be like a way that something's going to get lost? Or
no, I think it streamlines everything straight to you. I'd rather have my meat, potatoes, and veggies all on one plate than having 3 different plates come out. You know what I mean? With all these things in it. Then it's like, I can't see my plate, I'm good. Instead of having to be like, okay, which one am I going to next to find that thing? The fact that they're having ESPN, I watch, anime with Hulu, I watch, and Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, I watch, all under one umbrella. Yeah, count me in. That's perfect. I'll take that. You know what I mean? And I think it's a great move. I just want to see what the interface is going to look like.
Yeah.
The only reason I get scared is because I have kids who are 8, 5,
Mhm.
and 3. I don't want my kids to be looking up The Little Mermaid and something else come up. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that Disney does a great job of having categories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
different
don't think that's going to be an
profiles.
issue, but at the same time, I don't want that to be something on the screen that, you know what I mean? That my
Yeah,
kids
I mean, from
see.
what I remember of Disney, like when you created a profile, you can put an age, and then it's gonna like
Yeah,
age limit and restrict based on that age. And
yeah.
obviously Disney being a family company, I can't imagine they wouldn't think about that. All right, Matt, let's get your 2 cents, Mister Chomping at the bit. Don't deny it. Oh, there it is.
It's a good. So it's a good idea. I think I'm with Steven there. I just think it's for the reverse of what he said. I think it's better for Disney Plus than it is for Hulu. Because so I can confidently say right now, I think we all could. I could confidently say that Disney Plus is difficult to find content on if it's not specific.
Right.
So if you don't know, hey, I'm going for Mandalorian. If you're just browsing Disney Plus, it's not difficult to navigate. It's just like I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know where I'm looking for it at until I get a WandaVision or a Loki. Right? It doesn't draw.
Right.
Not that it's. I mean, Disney is an entertainment company. It's not just a kids' entertainment company. It's an entertainment company in general. So
Right.
they want to attract people paying for the subscription. The kids aren't paying. We're paying.
Mhm.
So I find myself a lot of the times right now at the moment. For example, there's nothing major on Disney Plus that's coming out that I want to see at the moment. Do I even pay $10 a month for the next 3 months, or I just wait till, you know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
think it's going to draw in a different dynamic and demographic of people that watch Hulu to now see Disney Plus content. That's the first thing. 2, all it's going to do for Disney is boost their quote unquote streaming platform numbers. If it's on
Mhm.
one platform, they now get to say
It's on.
this million people and this million people are now combined into one platform. We now have the majority of streaming, quote unquote. It's going to look good for the shareholders.
Right.
Going to look good for stakeholders. Um,
I agree with that
the
too.
other the other thing is they and next year Comcast has the option to force Disney to purchase the minority share, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna just bow out and sell it to Disney for a good chunk of change. I think Disney's preparing for that now to say,
Mhm.
here's our one platform with everything Disney has to offer, not just like the Disney Plus stuff, but every network we own is now here
Right.
on this one platform, whatever it's called. And I think it's just a good chess move in the streaming game. I don't think it's going to do anything more or less for their actual like revenue growth, except for their stock number going up
Yeah.
because it's going to look really good in their resume.
Right.
But then to challenge what you said, Andrew, because you said something, you said, why would they all go together? Right now, HBO Max has HBO, it has Everything Warner, it has Cartoon
Mhm.
Network, it has DC. Right now, it's all in one place. I don't think if Cartoon Network broke off, you would pay for a subscription just for Cartoon Network. But
Not
that's
even
what we're doing
close.
right now for Disney. That's what we're doing right at this moment for Disney. We're paying for
Yeah.
Disney Plus, which is this niche amount of stuff that we're going to watch. If we didn't have kids, I guarantee all three of us would have at least a cancellation once every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And
But
I
the
think
hard
they're trying to negate that by making it one app platform and making it seem like, okay, now here's everything we have to offer. So even though you don't are interested in this content here, you're still paying for what's over here. We're just going to dismiss this until you need us again, kind of a
but
thing.
that's
Because
that's the
Hulu's going to have more draw, in my opinion, than Disney is.
that's the part that I'm confused on, is because I already paid for it. Like I pay one price for 3 different apps, which it doesn't really affect me, and it gets me thinking. So right now I'm trying to think. I can't think of. I don't think there's anything that's commercially blocked or has commercials in Disney Plus, but I know for a fact my Hulu does.
Mhm.
So my Hulu has ads. Does that mean now that it's in one platform, am I going to have
So,
ads on everything, or am
so
I?
two things. One,
That's a good question, Andrew.
Iger's already said they're going to up the price of the premium subscription.
Mhm.
I think once again, they're preparing for Comcast to bow out. I think Comcast are the ones saying, "Hey, ad revenue, keep it," that kind of thing. Sorry, my monitor just shut off for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I did that earlier too.
So I think, if they're preparing for that and they up the price the next year and a half, which they're going to. I mean, it's just a natural given thing. I'm sure they're going to negate the ads altogether if they can help it. Now, the most of the ad partnerships you see on Hulu is because it's network specific. So Fox Network, like Fox, has ad partnerships with people that they have to continue running as a network. So that's not Disney's fault. So anything Disney cannot have ads on, they won't have ads on, in my opinion.
So running it back now there was 4, maybe 5 juggernauts in the streaming world. You have your Netflix, you had YouTube, Hulu, Prime, HBO. HBO's been coming up pretty good. They've been doing really well.
They have there's like a top 10 list of there's like a single show that has the most watches per week. Everything except for 2 shows in the top 10. I think like 5 was HBO Max and like 4 were Netflix, and then it was like Disney Plus 1, and then
so
they have like a hold on it.
So saying that, now Hulu, in theory, they're going to be together, one application. Now you can just call them. Okay.
It happened to him too. All 3 of us.
That's weird.
To me. I
think what's happening is StreamYard they don't count this as like a live video feed anymore, so it shuts our stuff off because we haven't touched our mouse in a while.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think that's what it does. And I don't have a video playing right now. Anyways, what does that do for Netflix? I want to know, because Netflix has been, I don't want to say stale. They've been coming out with good content. I don't want to knock on Netflix, but at the same time, I feel myself. Yeah, let's knock them. Let's knock them a little. They have been doing
nothing,
everything wrong. I guess that's the easy wrong. But there's everything that people are getting caught onto, or like liking, is getting either canceled because Netflix is like, we're not making the money, and I just don't feel like Netflix is moving. I feel like they're just stagnant and standing still. But then I keep hearing through the grapevine that Netflix is doing this gaming thing. But I've also been hearing that since like 2017, and Netflix has not done anything for me to right now. I'm really ready to just cancel Netflix because my wife doesn't watch it. The only person that watches it is my aunt, and she lives in Yuma, and I do it because she uses my password. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. I'll come for you.
I know, right? And the 2 shows that I was really in love with, one, Peaky Blinders, is over. And then the second thing is the other show they canceled, and they're like, yeah, we're indefinitely canceling it. It's not coming back. Then it's like, I can't tell you the last time I've logged into Netflix to watch something. You know what I mean?
So I think, to answer your question, if you look at like the big players right now, let's take HBO for an example.
All right.
HBO historically has been a company that has put out high quality TV shows for long periods of time. And I think that's why, to Matt's point, you're seeing more of these HBO shows hit the top charts, because again, this isn't a company that's like, hey, this is streaming. It's, hey, fundamentally, we're an entertainment company that has been known for putting out high quality TV shows.
Yes.
We've had that formula figured out. If you look at Disney, theirs is the other side. Disney is, hey, I can market to a mom who wants to give a tablet to a little toddler that they can watch their TV or their Disney movie anytime they want. I have the Star Wars fans. I have the Marvel fans. You have Netflix really doesn't have anything other than
nothing.
Stranger Things, and I think that they think that because of how big Stranger Things got, they can just bank on that and then put out a whole bunch of indie little side projects that will be cool for a while, but fizzle out very quickly because, and again, they don't follow the same formula of releasing episode weekly. It's here's everything.
Yeah, they dump, and then it's like, after a week, I'm done with you.
It's done. There's no longevity to it versus, again, and I think we've talked about this in the past, that content consumed that fast dies very quickly versus having a week to think it over, having a week to anticipate a cliffhanger. There's something more special about that, in my opinion, than hey, I can just stay up all night and watch an entire season and get it out of my system. Like, I think that was cool when it first happened because you could never really do that unless you forked over like $100+ for a season that had already come out. So I think initially it was a cool gimmick, but I think that gimmick has kind of fizzled out, and now
it's done. Yeah, I want to know what Netflix is going to do. I want to know what Netflix's next move is, because to me, it seems like they were like the future. They beat Blockbuster, and they're like, we innovated, we're done. You know what I mean? We got rid of everything. Nobody can beat us. And now people are taking steps, and they just were like, they got lost way in the back. And there's the only thing that can keep me interested is if they unlock regions maybe into Netflix, and they like open it up where I can see movies from Japan.
They can't. Yeah, they can't.
I know.
That's
I know
the
that
Netflix thing.
See, and that's what sucks, because there's a lot of Japanese movies and a lot of movies from other countries that are amazing.
How do we get a NordVPN sponsorship going? Like, hey,
you know what I mean? That would be amazing.
Well,
in here.
Here's your plug.
If you're not my mom, me, or Andrew's wife, the 3 people, if you are Norton's VPN, we would definitely love that. But it's crazy because I'm trying to think, what could they do? What could Netflix do besides content? Then they're trying that make me go, this is why I'm spending my $15 with Netflix. You know what I mean?
The problem is they've tried things, but they're weird things. So
like what? Like what have they tried?
So they currently do have games on there. You have like your mobile-esque games, but why am I going to play them on TV?
By the way, I play on my phone.
Is it pretty good? Oh, you play it on your phone?
I play a phone called Rain 3K. If you haven't played it, just give it a try. It's pretty cool. But go ahead, continue.
So I've never looked at. I don't find myself watching Netflix on my phone very often. Yeah. I find I see the games on my smart TV, and I'm like, why would I play that on my smart TV with an archaic remote when I could just pull up the app on my phone and play it? But to your point, I've never really looked and seen. The other thing that I know that they've dabbled in a little bit is content that you are in the driver's seat of. I don't know how well received it's been. So like a good example is the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. There's a season where like you choose the outcome, and depending on the choices you make, it's like those books that you used to read where it's like skip to page 27 for this, go to page 37 for this.
I love those books, dude.
It's like a video version of that. Yeah. And then the last thing I know for a while, and I did it for a little bit, but it got old really quick, was they had a trivia crack where you could do like trivia on there. Like that would be cool for cool. Again, it was cool for like a week, and then it just kind of fizzled out. So they've tried to experiment with some things, but I think fundamentally what it comes down to is Netflix doesn't have the original entertainment backing as something like HBO, or doesn't have the high dollar, high profile brands like Star Wars, Disney, Marvel.
Yeah.
So I think
Netflix, I think they've tried 3 things that will work if they keep doing them. The first thing is invest in movies that other studios would invest in that are by award-winning people, right? So
good quality.
Marriage Story and The Irishman, those were back-to-back. Those are the same year. That's where they mess up at, is where they have these 2 great, amazing, Oscar-worthy films, and they put them out in the same summer. So I think they need to space out some of their releases. I think they need to get the releases. What's the word? They need to get more content recorded before released. So Stranger Things, for example, there's no reason why we should have had a 3-year gap for the next Stranger Things season. That thing should have been pumped out, ready to go back to back, so they can take a break and then, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Umbrella Academy is another example to where they just need to space it out properly, or they need to just record so much that they can't run out of it until the next season or whatever. So it's not atypical for streaming service to have a gap in between things. Example, Disney Plus we're talking about right now. Nothing we're watching right now. Disney Plus is relevant to us. But we do know that in 2 or 3 months we're gonna get something, which is Ahsoka. But that small gap, what that's doing to us is making us keep it for that little bit of time. And Netflix doesn't have things lined up like that. And I think that's their problem. They kind of put everything out at one time. A couple things stick, and then like Wednesday and Stranger Things should not have been that close of release to each other.
Yes.
If Wednesday came out like right
like
now,
I still haven't seen Wednesday because it got
Neither.
lost in the Stranger Things hype, and
yeah,
I don't have a
Yeah.
desire to go back and like dig it up.
See,
that's something that.
I'm the kind of the opposite. Once Matt said Wednesday was amazing, I was like, dude, I'm gonna go watch it. And then I looked in the news and it was all Wednesday gets canceled. And I'm like, I'm not gonna invest some time in the show and then be like, oh,
Is it
this
canceled?
is at the time they said it was canceled, but then Netflix just picked it back up. They renewed it, but at the time they had canceled it. And then I was like, I'm not watching this. I'm not gonna invest a week of watching the show to get it canceled. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not, I'm not doing that. And then when it got picked up like for another season, I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's watch it. And my wife is watching 2 other shows before we get to that show.
So I think that's also a problem that they have is they typically find, and I don't know if this might be like a little crude way of saying it, but they find like the content that people aren't confident in, and sometimes like so it's a gamble for sure. My monitor just turned off. It's a gamble for sure. Sometimes it pays off, but I feel like more times than not, it doesn't. And going back, I think when streaming was just a new concept, everyone was like, this is awesome. Like, I can watch the whole thing. I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait a couple of years to see it. Everything's already out. But I think we rode that wave, and that's.
So
I really don't think that's the issue. But
so Beetlejuice is coming out. I didn't even know that. That's how I guess terrible the marketing is.
Jenna Ortega from Wednesday. She's the main character in Beetlejuice.
Oh man,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm down to watch that.
Beetlejuice.
I love that movie.
And Monica,
you guys ever watched that TV show?
Yes, I used to watch that TV show.
I'm 25. But then there's another thing that I think Netflix tried this year that if they stick with it could really change their platform. There's a show called Kaleidoscope where there is the episodes are just named different colors: red, blue, green, white, black, yellow. The only rule was you have to watch black last. And what happened was not every single user, but there's only a certain amount of combinations you can do with those 6 colors. But Steven got a different order to watch it than I did. Andrew got a different order to watch it than I did. And and it doesn't matter what order you watch it in, as long as black was the final episode. And so what that did was it gave me one perspective of a show about this show that everyone has seen. I can go to Andrew and say, "Oh, this is why I thought of this character," and you can go, "That guy was a jackass the whole time. What are you talking about?" Because the episodes you watch were a different order. So I think that's a way to get people coming back to the same show. So I watched Kaleidoscope the first time around, and then I went online and said, "What's the best order to watch it in according to the reviews?" Watched it in that order, and then I went and said, "What's the most dramatic way to watch it?" I watched it in that order. So that's I think they hit the nail on the head there. Can someone's dog is going crazy? Hit the nail on the head there, and I think that is a winning recipe. That if they keep doing shows like that,
yeah, that's cool.
Different experience for everybody that can be experienced different ways. It gets to talk a lot. I mean, it helps that Giancarlo Esposito was the main character. But the point is, they experimented. Netflix is the place, and it's always been, where experiments can happen. And if they hone that in and go with that, that's great. I mean, The Irishman was an experiment. It was a very big investment, and it required 3 heavyweight actors and a heavyweight director with a heavyweight salary that no one would take on. Netflix said, "You know what? Let's experiment and take it." Marriage Story was a quote unquote bland film that was just full of emotion.
Knives Out like that too.
Knives Out was all experiments, all these things. And Netflix is okay with taking the risk. I just don't. Netflix needs to stick with that formula, because when it hits, dude. Glass Onion is freaking amazing. The Irishman is arguably one of the best films of all time. Kaleidoscope is a damn good show. Stranger like those are just risk takers, and I think they just need to keep doing that. I just think the only problem with them now is one, if it sticks, it sticks. Like run with Kaleidoscope. Like figure out a different way to do this. Black Mirror is another example of a show that's like super weird and different, and it's amazing show. Squid Game, same thing, experimental, weird, different. So that's their bread and butter, and I think you can always bank on Netflix being weird and different, even down to like Love Is Blind, for example. Very weird, very different kind of love game show. They just need to space them out, dude. There's no reason why I should have Stranger Things and Wednesday in the same month. It just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, like I'm looking through their originals, like their top 20 originals, and Matt is right. their top 5 all came out within a year of each other, and a lot of them overlapped where people got lost, and you see it here. And I think they wanted to be in the news so much that they just dropped everything, and it looks like you could definitely see the years where they didn't have anything planned. Squid Games, that is the one that it changed everything. Squid Games was amazing because that is now a cult classic when it comes to movies, TV shows. It's up there, and you got to tip your hat to that. But I just feel like Netflix is not offering the same kind of content that all these other companies are offering. Because even like Matt said a couple of weeks ago, Apple is stepping their game up, right, Matt? You were saying that your Apple subscription is like starting to get
Tetris movie. Tetris movie with Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
I want to watch it so bad.
Good.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I want to watch that. I'm a big fan of him, and I've been wanting to get on that. I need to activate my Apple subscription again, and get onto it. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Oh. All right. Well, that was fun. I feel well educated. Thank you guys for helping your slightly unqualified host. Let's switch over to our expert, which is going to be you this week, Senior Khan.
Yes. So I am doing the third installment now to this expert topic that has been driving me crazy. I can sit here and say that I am the Xbox fanboy. I own several T-shirts, a pair of underwears, and some socks. So you could call me the fanboy.
Undies.
Yeah, dog. You know what I mean? And they're the 360 ones.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're the 360s. They're still standing strong. You know what I mean? A couple holes in them. You know
a little
what I'm
stiff.
You know what I mean? So I am gonna boost up Xbox a little bit in this, and then I'm gonna tear it all down. And
You boost Xbox? No.
So this week has been very interesting to me because a lot of things have happened to me, and a lot of things where I just want to shake the shit out of like a screen or a phone because you see other companies with less money doing it better than the company that's has trillions of dollars. So it's getting me irritated because there's a couple things I used to stand on. I used to talk mad shit to Matt about, like Game Pass. What's up, dog? And Matt would be like, "You're right. Game Pass is worth it." Xbox is. It is. Accessories. We come out besides the damn non-rechargeable controllers. We kill it with accessories. Xbox, the handicap, they take care of their people. They make
my favorite controller is my Elite controller, which is an Xbox controller.
So we can all stand and say that Xbox, and then even with this last hardware update, no red ring of death. Nothing has no the Xbox console, the Pro and the smaller one have been phenomenal. Yeah, there's been some issues here and there, but nothing crazy, right? Starfield's coming out too. That's what I'm going to get to. Thank you for bringing that up. You read my notes. So the thing that's killing me is we have the biggest pockets right now. We could say that we have the biggest pockets.
Probably do.
But we can't hit water if we fell out of a boat. We have Halo. The 7 people are playing Halo right now. 7 people. Xbox title. There was name a title that is only on Xbox and it is flopping hard.
Gears of War.
Fallout.
In 1997. We don't have this last game, the damn vampire game. What's it called? Redfall. Everything I
horrible?
wish. It is terrible.
Yes, I knew it was
Terrible.
gonna be a flop.
There's somebody who shoots, and the animation through the whole level is the same. They never move, and I'm just like, yes, okay, maybe it's just that one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You see, Star Wars Jedi Survival had a whole bunch of issues in the beginning. Dude, within the end of the day, update came, boom, bang, boom, and it's good. Xbox right now is just Crackdown. When it came out, Crackdown was fun for 4 minutes. I had more fun. It took longer to download the game than I had fun playing it. And I just don't know what Xbox is doing. So this is my two things. You guys let me know what you think. Xbox doesn't fire people. People usually leave Xbox because Xbox is the cash cow. They're the what you want to get to. But right now, there's been like in the last 10 years, there's been 3 people who've left that were like significant people. One went to Diablo, one went to another lower end company, and he killed it. His game came out amazing. Amazing. Artwork, mechanics, beautiful. Now, Phil, I don't think it's Phil's fault, but I don't know who to put the blame on. Now, another game that's coming out, Starfield, is loved around the world. Everybody loves this game. People are really scratching their head right now going, is this going to be another Redfall? Is this game going to crash and burn? And the Activision thing has been pissing people off because it looked like a slam dunk, and that's down the drain.
You hear that? You dusting my shoulder off. You hear that?
Dusting it off.
You see PlayStation, they can't build consoles, but motherfuckers can come out with some games that are just jaw-dropping, visually stunning, and making me, since the PlayStation 2, wanting to own a PlayStation to play some story games. I'm not even a story.
Spider-Man coming soon.
Dog, I'm this close, my God. I'm about to slide my credit card and buy me a PlayStation 5 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do it. Don't do
I'm
it.
Not
strong,
I'm not
brother.
trying to.
My
son would be like, every morning, he's like, Dad, wouldn't it be cool if we had a PlayStation 5? And I'm like, the only thing worse he could do besides say that is wear a Yankees hat in my house. It's PlayStation 5 and a Yankees hat. You know what I mean? He wants to be a male stripper who works at wherever. I don't care. Denny's. I don't give a shit. You don't wear a Yankees hat in my house or buy a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation.
You know what? I need to step in here because I need to shoot Xbox. I need to shoot Microsoft some bail, okay? Because
so let me hear it.
As bad as their games are, Xbox. Okay. No, I'm not doing that for sure. But I will tell you, okay, there are good games that Xbox has, and I'll give you just one that blows anything Sony will ever make out of the water in this category. Forza is a damn near perfect game every single time it comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And it's visually stunning.
Gears of War 5, there's nothing like it on PlayStation. There never will be. They tried with there was a game that Doc played really big. It's never going to come close to it. Now, I know we don't like Halo because it sucks, but it is still very unique in that category. They have really good games like Ori, like it's a good story game, and then also they have Sea of Thieves. So those are like good games to go to. But now
Sea of Thieves was good a year after it dropped.
Let me caveat all that. Let me tell you guys why both you here, gentlemen, your next console purchase, if you make one at all, should not be an Xbox. Not because the games aren't good, but because both of you gentlemen, this is a credit to Xbox. You can't do this with the PlayStation. You guys both have PCs. You can play any Xbox game you ever want to on the PC. Yep. If you're gonna buy a console, buy a PlayStation to get the good stuff, like Spider-Man 2.
Don't like good stuff because it still hurts, dude. It hurts still.
And God of War and Assassin's Creed.
But like nobody. What's crazy to me is I was watching Call of Duty League this weekend, and Scump made a great point. We all know if right now Halo came out with the Battle Royale, it would take over the world.
I don't think so. I
think so. They have mechanically one of the funnest maps building. It's so amazing. The hard part is that it's like they're not listening to anybody. at
I
all.
I don't think,
Ever.
and this might be a
I
topic
told
for
you.
another
I
time.
told you.
I don't think that a battle royale works with the Halo playstyle. They would have to. How would you do shields? You get temporary shields. Everyone has over
Well, think
shields.
about it. You got weapons that are amazing. You have you build Warthog with 4 seats and you're good. The maps are so huge. They have the launchers. They have the way of
No,
traveling.
I think the
They
maps could work. I'm just saying, like mechanic wise, the
yeah, just
reason
don't get me
that
wrong. There's going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but it's what the world wants, and it just they won't give it. And
yeah,
it's
but
I know
I
Xbox
don't think it
and
works.
Bungie and
I don't think it works.
343. It's going to be like 19,400 and 1,000. And they'll be like, we're
Andrew,
going to give it to you now.
I think
It's
what
so
the
annoying.
real seller for a Halo BR would be that you can just drive a Warthog across a map and just fire away with a needler. That would be just a great BR by itself.
No, I
Yeah,
mean, I think it would be a
definitely.
very cool idea, especially like with the Halo Infinite Zeta Halo, where it's like it looks like everything's built to block. Like, man, if they just made it to where it's not a circle, but literally the Halo is falling apart and you got to stay on it, like that would be cool. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know if Halo's gunplay makes sense in a battle royale. For me personally, I think what makes battle royales work is they're close to being real. It's one life and you're done. I feel like Halo, you with overshields, you lose that fear factor or like the adrenaline boosting part because it's, hey, my overshield went down, I gotta find cover, it's gonna automatically recharge. I don't know if there's like a good way to do that other than like scavenging around. And then if they were to do it that way, guess what? There's a little game called Apex Legends that already does that.
Yeah. It literally it would be a Apex Legends style game, but just with Halo. And
Mm-hmm.
But that
it just
matters.
but
The
that
Halo
it's huge.
name
Yeah, yeah.
matters.
I think Halo would
I
I'm
don't
telling
know
you,
if
man.
I don't know if
I
the
think it
Halo
takes
name
over.
matters. I don't know if it
No,
matters that much.
you're tripping.
I think Apex is well established enough that it would hold its line.
No, I
You
don't
are
think so.
bugging.
No.
Bugging.
The snipers hit different in Halo, man. The snipers, the shotguns, like the running up behind somebody and bucking them. It's just it hits different. There's something about it, man.
The thing is, the Halo, it's so known that it doesn't even matter if it's on par with Apex. People are going to run, not walk. They're going to, including myself, are going to
Yeah,
run
I would jump
to
back on.
try this Halo BR, okay? And if it's as good or on par with Apex, Apex is losing half their users. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think so. I think you get the initial wave of hype. I look at it as something like Blackout. So Blackout, I said Blackout, my monitor freaking turned off. So Blackout was,
Hold on. I need you to be very careful what you say here because Blackout is the best BR of all time. I
listen
would
to
die on
what
that
I'm
hill.
about to say. Blackout
never played it.
is a good BR. I don't disagree with you.
The best BR.
Sure, the best COD BR.
Behind
The
PUBG.
best BR.
Don't
get
but
started
if
on
you
PUBG.
if you think about it, like it dwindled out pretty quickly. Like
that's not because it wasn't good or because it wasn't a user for it.
I'm not saying it's because
Hold on. That's because Activision shifted their focus away from that. If Activision would have kept that going as their main BR, I very strongly believe that would be the number one BR on the world right now.
I think Activision has they could make it the best BR with any game, just with the amount of support that they have, the amount of gunplay knowledge that they have.
They're kind of. Have you seen Warzone 2? Have you seen?
I know, but
Warzone's trash
Warzone
right
is,
now.
yeah, but that's because of the choices that they make to change everything meta and make it purchasing wise. Like,
yes,
that's
like
a
they
simple.
Can't fix the game, but I can have Fat Tim the Tatman run by.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm very confidently saying that if that Blackout game just stayed exactly how it was through these last 5 years or whatever, it would eat. I mean, the only person close would be Fortnite. But even at Fortnite's peak, which is what it was at, Blackout was still neck and neck with it up until they announced Warzone, which that was the death of their BR. Honestly, it was Warzone.
I personally, I just
your tone, okay?
No, I'm not saying anything bad about Blackout. I thought Blackout was fun.
Disrespecting it.
I just don't think a BR game fits in the scope of Halo.
I think they do.
I don't
if
think
they
we'll ever
dedicate
get one.
themselves.
That's
No, I
what
don't think we
think.
will either.
No,
I
we
don't
won't.
think we'll
We won't.
We're
ever,
not. We're not.
ever get
It's
one.
over. Halo's done. Master Chief retired already. He's
No, I
in
don't think
the
Halo's done.
Bahamas.
I think Halo Infinite's done. I think they'll.
It's terrible, dude. It's
So
crazy.
to support Steven's point, I want to see like the best games, like exclusive to Xbox, and Halo Infinite is number one. So if that's your number one, I think you're right. You guys are in some trouble, buddy.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this real quick. So I think this comes back to a similar concept that we were talking about with Netflix, with Microsoft. So if you look at Sony, Sony is a entertainment company where they've built stories, whether that's movies, music, like they encompass that whole thing. They have the right people from multiple different angles to create story, versus Microsoft has money and influence and has to buy other people to create games, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to create good games or good story driven games because they don't have that background. That's not where they came from. They came from, hey, how can we develop great hardware that is going to give the easiest use with the best performance?
Yep.
And so I think that's your difference between PlayStation and Xbox is PlayStation's in it for now. No, I will say PlayStation's always been on the cutting edge of giving good performance and great quality hardware, but they always have had a foot in the story business, whether that's movies.
They've had a chokehold on entertainment value, a chokehold.
So the thing that's it's right now, Xbox right now for their titles are we're losing to Sony hands down, right? To the exclusives.
I don't think we're now losing. I think they've been losing.
Yeah, 100%. We haven't been able to hit gold in a long time. And there's little hits here and there, nothing crazy, but our biggest thing was Game Pass. So we're telling people, hey, we have this exclusive. It's on Game Pass. Well, the last 3 exclusives that they've had have just eat shit and died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bad. And then you start to see what PlayStation's adding to their PlayStation Plus. They're adding Ratchet and Clank. They're adding PSP games remastered. They're going to be doing Metal Gear Solid remastered. They're doing Siphon Filter on the PSP. It was amazing. I love that game. And now that I have 2 controllers, 2 thumbsticks instead of a D-pad and a thumbstick, dude, that game's going to be amazing. That right there is like, oh, you guys are remaking and putting them on there. That makes me want to buy a PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like they're listening to the fans and going, these cult classics that you guys love, let us remaster it and put it on a better controller, a stronger console. And now their money is slowly creeping up. Their subscription is slowly creeping up to being, okay, now this is a contender. Do I buy the PlayStation or do I buy the Xbox? Right now, the only thing that's separating us is that we can be on PC. But I'm willing to spend $2,000 on a PC or $2,500 on a PC. But some people aren't. Some people can only spend the $600. So now, where is the value? And it's starting to see where, yeah, PlayStation is in my eyes, is starting to compete with. If I ever buy another console, am I going to buy a PlayStation or am I buying an Xbox? You know what I mean? That's now a legit question I have to have.
Yeah, so, I think it's going to get even more interesting next year when we get the new portable console released by Sony. It's supposed to be a PSP-like system, but with a twist. So if they have a portable cloud-based platform, it's going to be trouble for Microsoft.
Dude, I loved my PSP.
Yeah,
I had that with me.
Best thing in the world, dude. Best thing in the world.
I think the hard thing about Microsoft is because they have such power and influence, they feel like they don't have to necessarily come out with the best. And we've talked about this before too, that when you are buying competition, it doesn't breed better competition. It just the market becomes stagnant. So I think that's what's happening.
I think what's really happening is you two took your blinders off to what I've been saying for the last 2 months.
Oh, I'm not buying a PlayStation.
Yeah, I would never buy
no. I didn't say buy one. I said you guys are starting. You guys are
Really
starting
playing
to see
traffic.
what I've been saying about Microsoft not caring about the gaming community and not doing anything to help them in the last 10 years.
I will agree
And
with
you
that.
guys
They
are
hurting
starting
it.
to see that. And I've been preaching it for 3 months. I all I do is preach it. I pray to
Dude.
God and let it take its own birth. I plant the seed and it just grows to what it is today, which is you guys admitting that Microsoft doesn't take care of their community.
Dude,
I'm
Andrew,
getting
I
nauseous.
bow out.
just
Getting
made.
nauseous.
This is how irritated I am. I have my mic in the screen, and I never pick up my mic. I was gonna Google, and I did, and I don't want to read it. I don't.
Read it.
I don't.
Read it.
No, I'm not gonna read it because
As the host, I say read it.
I can't read it because I have to scroll, and my monitor is vertical right now. I have to scroll 3 times to get to the end of the list of games that are coming out from May 16th all the way to June 6th. There is a long list of games coming out. Wolfenstein's coming to PlayStation Plus. Tomb Raider.
Wolfenstein.
Dude, there's so many games. I'm just like, I want to play 4 out of the top 3. Ratchet and Clank, I want to play. The Siphon Filter remake, I want to play. There's so much coming. And don't get me wrong, Xbox is getting stuff, but why I'm showing up to Xbox is not there. You know what I mean? Some of these games are already on Xbox, but PlayStation's games, their exclusives are bangers, dude.
They've always been bangers.
And it's like, come on, Xbox, like, what do we do here? Do we fire? Do we, you know what I mean? Like,
if you honestly think back to Xbox, they really haven't had that many like exclusive titles that are like, this is why you buy it. With the exception of Halo, what else can you think of that's like
Gears?
I'm buying the
Gears.
next? I don't think Gears falls into that.
No, Gears was pretty big. Gears was huge. They just didn't know how to wrap up that story.
You're talking about specifically Gears 5?
Gears 5 is good.
It was good. I just think the game was just like the same. The story just kind of got a little weird.
Agreed there. But that's not why I played Gears in the first place.
Yeah, me either. I love Gears.
But I mean, Forza, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Forza is a bread and butter game for them. There's nothing like Forza. Nothing like it. Nothing. I watched a clip that Keck played, and I thought I was watching like a video of a real car driving through through Morocco, and I was like, this is insanity, dude.
Yeah, Forza's pretty nice.
Nothing like Forza. As long as they have Forza, they'll be a force to be reckoned with because Forza is so good, dude. So good.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's all I got for them.
Are we done? Are we done? You done slamming on Xbox? And
so I know we're gonna get into the game right now, but there also is I want to give Nintendo a tip. I want to take the hat off, be like, well played, Nintendo. We can all say that Zelda's.
I hate this thing, man. I don't know why it keeps turning off.
Anyways, if you knew somebody at Best Buy, you could probably get your monitor replaced. What is it? Zelda, the first Zelda was amazing. They came out on the Switch. Amazing. They listened to the people, the Breath of the Wild. They listened to the fans and saw what the fans were complaining about. And it wasn't much. It was a great game. It was like a 97 Metacritic. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was keep the same game, added some better content to it, better mechanics here and there that needed it, and then released what the fans wanted. And everybody who's doing they did the early release and I've been watching reviews of it, have been like, they answered and gave us everything the fans wanted with the same mechanics. And I'm like, why can't other games do the same? Like Call of Duty, keep what's working, like Blackout, and give us the same, but what the fans are and the people are asking for. That's all I have for my
problem is today. Call of Duty will always cater to the people that are willing to drop money right now versus the people that are willing to be around with it forever. At least in their new formula of passes, you're always going to have those people that are going to pay that.
That is true.
No. I think Call of Duty's problem is they make changes that nobody asked for, including those players. Nobody asked nobody asked to not have a red dot on their mini map. Nobody asked for dead silence to not be a thing. Those are two pinnacle things that if they put those two things in this game is actually really good if they just do literally those two things. the problem is what Steven just said. They don't listen to the majority, and the majority of people are saying, "What happened to red dots? Why is that? Why am I running so loud where I can be heard across the map?"
Bro, I thought when that game came out, I thought I had the best headphones. I was like, dude, these must be the meta headphones where I can hear everything. And then my buddy's all, dude, why can't I hear everything? And I was like, you can hear that too? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, dog, I thought that Eco Boost was on and I could hear people's brain cells developing. You know, everybody can hear that. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's so stupid.
I think the money grabs. I think I strictly put the blame on Epic Games for all that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. Totally. And Fortnite, man, and the people who spent $586.33 on skins. I don't know who these people are.
Very specific number, Mr.
Pissing
Steven.
me off.
Very specific. All right, let's wrap things up and get to our game. We have, I'm assuming it's probably going to be a banger since we have the game master himself. So
last week's was a banger.
He's never failed to present a great game. It would be a shame for him to do it this week.
No, I will not. So, gentlemen, I had the game last week too because
it was a banger, dog. I won.
It was great.
Won.
Yeah,
I saw it. It was good.
So, I had the game this week just to keep continuity up with our rotations. Okay, so this week's going to be a little interesting. Okay, so there's going to be a 1 through 10. Okay, every number will get used. Okay, that's going to be your rating.
Oh, give me 1 second. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Everyone matters. Appreciate it. There you go.
Thank you.
Cool. So I'm in my head. I'm going to think of a rating, right? Say I think of 5 or 6 or whatever. Okay. You two, one by one, will have to ask me an actor or actress, a movie or TV show, and then a video game. I'm going to give you one of those 3 things as you ask me them that I rate at that number. So let's say it's 5. And you say, give me a movie, and I give you one. I rate that movie as a 5. You two then have to guess what number I have in my head.
Okay.
All right, let's do a practice round of this.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. This is creative.
Just let you guys know, if I'm game, next game is going to be like, what's your favorite color? You know what I mean? Your guys' games are intense.
Pretty big swing here.
yeah, just letting you know. Go for it.
Okay, so I have a number in my head. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, see you being scared.
Go. So ask me what you want me to give you. A TV show, movie, actor, actress, or a video game.
Give me a movie.
A movie.
It's a very subjective one.
It's very subjective. That's the thing. I will give you Tenet.
Ooh. Okay, so I know that you enjoyed Tenet, but I don't think you absolutely loved it. And this is like almost a gauge of friendship too.
Exactly my point. Yep. All right, Steven, go ahead and ask me for an actor, actress, or a video game.
Oh, I don't say a number.
You can do one by one if you want to.
I don't care. Well. This is your game.
You guys want to do a competition against each other or against me? That's my question.
No. Let's do it against each other. Yeah, okay. I like that. Talking shit to Andrew's fun.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Right. I just like winning.
Oh. So you like winning like a new job because you weren't here last week, or like are winning the position that you once had?
I was still here. I just wasn't here.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying now.
So again, forgive me. I'm very underqualified. So I have the number that I think is in my head of what you're thinking. Are you going to give Steven the same in a different category, and we're trying to guess which number is it, or am I just like Spitfire? No. Here's the number.
You're going to ask me all 3. I'm going to give you
So
the thing, and then you'll guess the number.
Is, give me the video game.
Video game. Rocket League.
Okay. You enjoy Rocket League. You don't love Rocket League. So we're in the same boat as Tenet. Wait, is there like, am I getting points off for asking for another one, or should I just skip all my number? Okay.
These 3 just help you.
Yeah, let's do actor.
Actor.
Actor or actress.
So he just has to give you one number that's going to connect all these together?
I have
Yes.
a number in my head,
Yes,
so
it is.
Okay.
Actor or actress? Well, this is tough for me because I think every actor is just great, the best in the world. You know what? Taron
I hear
Egerton.
that all the time.
who?
Taron Egerton.
Okay, I'm just gonna say my number. Did I miss
for it.
anything? My
it
number
did.
that I was thinking was 7.
7
Good
is
number.
incorrect.
Dang it.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I
The
would say
answer was
7 too.
8. The answer was
The number
8.
was okay. 8.
Very close.
Yeah.
All right. Let me think here.
The Rocket League threw me off because I know you've gotten
Yeah.
mad at Rocket League, so I was like,
Yeah.
might drop it down.
If you would have
But
said that
does
at the beginning, I would have said 9.
lines
Rocket
up pretty well though, right? 8,
Yeah.
10 in Rocket League, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Taron Egerton. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my next number. Steven, go for it.
Let's go video game.
Video game. Infinite Warfare.
Oh.
Okay. Movie.
Movie.
Live action Mulan.
Banger.
This is hard. Let me think. Let me think of a movie.
You didn't plan this out? I thought you'd have a spreadsheet of this.
I know.
No, I did. No, I thought about it like 2 hours ago. No, this sounds great. Movie. I want to give you one that you would know, but I can't because this number.
No, go for it. If I don't know it, I don't know it. I'll just guess.
Sorry, I'm really drawing a blank here. Lightyear.
It's on
The new one.
What was the game? The first game? Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
And then Buzz Lightyear or Lightyear. And then is it an actress? Is your last one? Or
Actor or actress. Yeah.
Either way. Even without hearing it, I have a number in my head.
I have number 2.
Jeez, I don't know why I picked this number.
Have my number up. I'm gonna review it to see if.
Okay. Matthew McConaughey.
Fuck! You just threw me for a loop. Damn it! I love Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if you like Matthew McConaughey. Dang.
How do you not?
Because I know that Matthew loves this movie with Matthew McConaughey in it, and I know he loves Matthew McConaughey in that movie. But I don't know if he likes Infinite Warfare. That's the one that's kind of getting me, because I hate Infinite Warfare with the passion. So I'm gonna go
for a fact he doesn't like Infinite Warfare.
I'm gonna go 4.
That was the number I had.
That's what I was going with. 4.
Well, you both have the same tendency. It was a 5, actually. So now McConaughey to me is controversial because I have a 50-50 with him. Either it's really good, like The Gentleman, or it's just like mediocre. So that's why he's at the 5, because it's literally the halfway point. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I thought it was a 4 because of Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare is that high for you?
Yeah,
I wanted to say 2 at first, and when I said that I didn't know the actress, but I have a feeling.
No,
but when you said Matthew McConaughey, you kind of screwed me on that one.
I'm pretty sure you liked World War II less, but you still supported the proceed during it.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, let me think of a number.
Might have been a hint.
Let me think of a number. Okay, got it.
Okay, let's do actor or actress first.
Actor or actress? I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it. Brie Larson.
Okay.
I don't know this answer.
Let's do video game next.
Assassin's Creed 3.
That was very like you were just thinking about this.
I can't remember, but I feel like at one point you told me Assassin's Creed 2 was your favorite.
Okay.
Okay. So the last one's movie.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard for me, I think.
I swear, if you say Captain Marvel,
The funny part is it probably could go on this rating, but I'm not going to say that. I'm actually going to say Thor: Love and Thunder.
okay. I have a gut number. I'm looking over here because I've been putting the numbers that have already gone. I was gonna say this number, but I'm gonna raise it because of my last. I'm gonna say 4.
4?
4.
Before he answers, I'm saying 6.
6? Okay.
6.
So Andrew, your gut was correct. It was 3, but you raised it up.
No way.
You would have guessed it.
He did that on purpose. He said we both had this tendency. He's in our mind.
Man.
All right.
Hey, right now,
so far,
if Matthew were to come out and say that his favorite movie of all time was Assassin's Creed, what would you think of him? If he's like, yeah, the best movie of all time is Assassin's Creed.
Oh man.
I don't know if I could take advice from him at all about anything.
I don't. I would question our friendship.
Everything was a lie. You know what I mean? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the rare movies that I was like, this is a fast-paced, boring movie. Like it moves so fast, but it was boring.
Dude, I went to see it with one of my best friends at the time, who's a diehard Assassin's Creed fan, and he was like, "We can leave if you want." I was like, "All right, cool, let's leave."
Did we see that together?
Sucks.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I think
I think we saw that together. And we're just like
super confused and yeah. All right, next number's on the board. I got it.
You signed off on that? Man must not have read the script.
Nope.
Next number is good.
All right, let's go. Let's start with an actress or an actor, whatever it is.
Actor or actress at this rating. Give me. Let me think here. Give me Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Okay, this is gonna be a hard one because I don't think I've ever watched a movie besides Guardians with you that had Bradley Cooper in it, or even heard you talk about Bradley Cooper. So okay, look, give me the video game.
Video game, I will give you. I gotta think about this one. I will give you.
Someone just went into your Tron universe. Oh, can I say it again?
I will give you on the Cooper theme, Sly Cooper.
The movie or the game?
The game.
Oh, okay. It's a good game. And I think I've heard you say that it's a really good game. It's one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. Okay, and then
That's why I don't know it's a PlayStation game.
The movie. Men in Black 1.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm going with lucky number 7.
Spot on. Got it.
7.
The man got it. The man got it. 7 was correct.
So right now I'm winning. I say we give Andrew one more round to win this.
I have all the numbers.
Tie it up.
I think we have time to get through all of them if you want to. I have 1 through 10.
Let's give Andrew one more shot. Let's see if he gets this.
Okay.
Let's see if he gets this. And
statistically, I should be able to here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So
just
because we're almost at half.
Eliminating numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Math is hard,
right.
Stephen.
I'm about to kick you out of this room.
Where do I go with this? Okay.
I want to say 10 or 1.
I got it.
Okay. Let's do movie.
Movie? Try to not give an obvious one. You know what? The Irishman.
Okay.
I know this one.
Let's do game.
Video game, I will give you Black Ops 3.
Okay. And actor.
Actor,
I
I
need you to
will.
bring it home. Oscar Isaac.
I will give you Andrew
And
Garfield.
president. I know what this answer is.
Okay, so let me talk this one through. I know that you
If I
absolutely
nod,
love.
before you go on, if I nod, it's just to acknowledge what you're saying, not because
Yeah,
you're in the
that's
right
fine.
direction.
Know that you love the Irish men. I'm. I wish you would have said Oscar Isaac because then it would have been easy. I know you love Oscar Isaac. I'm still gonna go with my gut, which has been wrong 2 times. So chances are I am probably wrong. But I'm gonna say 9.
9 is correct. Andrew gets a point.
Okay, so I actually didn't go with my gut. My gut was 10.
Number 10.
That little pause
Right.
was like, "Don't do it again. Don't do
Yeah.
All
it."
right, now we get into the weeds. Now we get to the part where I'm really gonna try and trick you guys because I'm gonna have
Okay.
to. Okay, next number. I got it.
All right, movie.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay. Game.
Um. Wow, that was actually harder than I thought it was gonna be. Hold on, I gotta think. Um.
How many numbers are left?
5.
Five numbers left. It's got to be a game I'm missing.
It's clearly not memorable. So
It's not memorable, clearly, right?
there's only 4 numbers here.
Yeah. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. How about that?
Actress. Actor.
Actor, actress. Give me The Rock.
I am gonna go. I don't remember if this number was picked or Andrew said it and it was wrong. And then I'm gonna go with 4.
4 is correct. That is 1 point for
Let's
Steven.
go.
It's now 2-1.
Let's go.
Yeah. Need to throw some curveballs here. Okay. Next number
I need
is
to write these numbers down.
Didn't know you felt so poorly about The Rock.
Everybody.
terrible actor.
Terrible.
One trick pony. Next number is in my head.
Okay. Video game.
Video game. We will go. I want one that you don't know I like or don't like. That's cheating. Steven's getting hounded right now. Madden 2022.
That is a tricky, because I know you liked Madden. I don't know if you specifically like Madden 2022.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Okay, let's do movie next.
Movie. um, X-Men 3.
Okay. All right, so we can clearly rule out number 10 because nobody likes X-Men 3. 9, 8, 7 have been accounted for. That leaves us with 6, 2, or 1. So if it was a 1, you would absolutely hate this stuff. I don't know if you absolutely hate the movie. I know you like Maddens, but maybe this Madden did something that pissed you off I haven't heard you talk about. So 2022 would have came out in 2001. I'm really dissecting this. Let's just throw it up there. I'm gonna put number.
Did you ask for the actor yet?
Oh, did I ask actor?
I don't
No,
think so.
actor. Okay, let's see.
Chuck Norris.
I don't know how you feel about Chuck Norris.
I have to get creative with these ones, guys, because we're getting down to the numbers here. So.
I'm gonna throw out the number I was originally gonna throw out, which would have been the number 2.
Number 2 is correct. You got that spot on. Wow, you guys are narrowing it down now. All right, so it's 2-2.
2-2.
Okay, so there's 3 numbers left.
Mm-hmm.
It really should be a given because they're quite spread apart. But I'm gonna try and throw some curveballs. All right.
Good, medium, and bad left.
Yeah, so we're getting close to the limit where it's going to get a little tricky. So we might have to be last round sudden death.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one to guess.
Yeah.
First one to guess.
Yeah. Throw your numbers up, and once you throw it up, it stays up. That's it.
Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Number is in my head.
Go for it. Andrew.
Actor. Jude Law.
All right. Video game.
Video game. We got.
What happens if he's all Spider-Man Miles Morales? That 6 would have turned into a 10 real quick.
Oh gosh.
But since he can't find it, I think 6 is the number.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay, and then what's the last one? Movie.
Movie. Scarface.
I'm staying with 6.
Damn. We'll go with 10?
10?
There's no way that's 10. A 10.
6 is correct.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
My guy.
You didn't like Fallen Order that much?
It's a good game.
You liked it, but
it's the replayability. That matters a lot to me.
So. Yeah, that makes sense. I only played it once, so it makes sense. That was good,
I can give you I can give my 1s and 10s, or we can just leave it.
Yeah, no, just tell us your 1s and 10s.
To the 1s and 10s.
Break down your 10s.
So 10, if you were to ask me actor, I probably would have said Benedict Cumberbatch. If you were to ask me TV show / movie, this is why it's going to throw you for a loop here. I would have said Four Brothers.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known.
Yep. And then if you would have said video game, my only 10 out of 10 video game in the history of video games, Black Ops 2. No.
Yeah, that one would have been pretty easy.
That was really good.
So my 1s, which again, I was trying to confuse you guys. My 1 would have been Harry Potter, the very first one.
Yeah, I would have gotten one.
Yeah, I think I would have got that until what was it, movie 4?
Yeah.
So that's my
my actor, which would have been Tom Cruise, and then really? My video game would have been Wii FIFA.
Makes sense.
So, do you know Tom Cruise is dating Shakira right now?
Is he?
Yeah. Hey, I tip my hat to
wrap it up there, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our show for tonight. Thank you for sticking around. We're going to try to get out of here at exactly 1 hour and 45 minutes. I don't have anything else, gentlemen. Anything you want to finish the show off with?
All I got is if you're still here, the 4 people, go to Twitch, do a follow, share it. Yeah, there you go. Stick it, smell it, pop it, twist
Hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
Go. Everyone listening, everyone here right now as well, go watch Guardians Volume 3.
We'll do.
We will. Also, too, if you don't know somebody and you see them with strangers, say hello, say hi. Be a positive light for everybody. We out. God bless. Take care.
Bye.